Faithful Word Catholic Church or Faithful Word Baptist Church? Actually, both. I'm going to show you the proof, irrefutable proof, of this thing here, this connection between these two men, Steven Anderson and Oscar Bogart here. This guy is a charismatic Roman Catholic. I'm going to show you the proof. We already did a two-part video, my wife and I, on this issue here. And while she was doing the research, my wife would find this Universal One Church thing. Could not get into it. It kept saying there was an error whenever she would try to click on this website. She tried multiple times. Finally, we didn't include it in the study because we just couldn't get the link to work to this website. But thankfully, I have very knowledgeable viewers. And right here, Christian Gomez, thank you for this article, brother. I think you will find this very interesting and telling. Webarchive.org. Here's the thing. You can see the link. You can go there on comments on this very video, the one I just showed the screenshot for. And let me just click on this thing here really quickly because I just want you to see
about maybe
a little bit of
whatever
what we were saying and doing there. And we were showing a lot of the different uniforms and stuff of papists. And there's a picture of Bogart with his Catholic bishop shirt and a little Roman collar thing there. And you can watch the whole study. I mean, we're not going to get into the whole thing here. But, you know, this guy is buddy-buddy with Steven Anderson. I mean, here they are, set of one of the movies. There's Anderson, there's this Bishop Bogart. Watch that if you want to see more on that. But here we have Brother Christian Gomez here with this link. You go to the link, and this is what it comes up with. Okay, home, who we are, become minister, outreach, social. And this is the roots of the Universal One Church. This is universalonechurch.org. You can see it right up here. universalonechurch.org. Okay, very interesting. Our founder and history. They quote Matthew 16, verse 18, just like the Catholic Church does. And look at this. The roots of the Universal One Church run deep and are steeped in tradition within the Christian Church. The word universal itself, by definition, is synonymous with Christian or Catholic, originating from the Greek language word katholikos. You know, and it goes into blah, 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 blah. Catholic. Okay? Look at this. Staff and leadership. Leadership. Right? And staff of the Universal One Church. Father Jordan Francis, OSM. We'll talk about what OSM is in a minute here. Bishop. Father. These are Catholic priests. Okay? And then there's reverends underneath that, and they're all OSM. Look at this. Sunday Mass, 7 p.m. Eastern Time there. Confession and Vatican Radio News. Yes, they are definitely this Universal One Church is a Roman Catholic offshoot. But what does this OSM thing mean? Well, just do a little Google search. Catholic Order OSM. Servite Order. The Servite Order is one of the 5 original Catholic mendicant orders. Its objectives are the sanctification of its members, preaching the gospel, and the propagation of devotion to the Mother of God with special reverence to her sorrows. The members of the order use OSM, Ordo Servorum Beta, and then Mary, whatever thing there. But Order of Friars Servants of Mary. There you have the OSM. That's what it is. Servite.org. You can go to any of these things there. What is OSM? One secret mission, being sarcastic there, is a Catholic urban evangelistic group there. Secret mission. On a secret mission. Here you have in South Africa, Faithful Word Baptist Church, connected to Bogart, Anderson's little buddy. There, okay. Or actually, Anderson's controller, perhaps we should say. And here you have it. Western Cape, 7100 South Africa, Cape Town there. And look at the phone number, 602-456-1049. All right, check this out. Universal One Church, Cape Town, Western Cape, 7100 South Africa. 850-720-1061. Different phone number, but it's the same address. Faithful Word Baptist Church. Universal One Church. So I wasn't joking when I said Faithful Word Catholic Church. Right there it is. The same address with two different names. Faithful Word Baptist Church, named after Stephen Anderson's cult, and then Universal One Church. Which, you go back to what it is, the staff and leadership of that organization is a Catholic bishop. How about that? But there's another significant few events coming up here, which I think is rather interesting. Here you have the remnant video, this channel on YouTube, Catholics Rising. What I've been saying about Stephen Anderson and his cult, they're covert Catholics. They're going to start coming out of the confessional. They don't come out of the closet. Well, maybe they will eventually, but they come out of the confessional. They're covert Catholics. They're pushing Catholic teachings and doctrines and things like this. And this is a whole pre-Vatican II channel here on YouTube, and you watch this video, they're making fun of a lot of the things that are going on in the modern Catholic churches. So don't give me this thing of, well, Stephen Anderson speaks against Catholicism. Yeah, radical Catholics do too. It doesn't mean anything. You get some guy stands up and says, yeah, Catholicism is wicked. That doesn't mean he's anti-Catholic. Doesn't mean he's not a Catholic himself. There's always fighting within that system. Right here you're seeing it. This is a conservative Catholic organization. But check this out. Catholic Identity Conference 2017, October 27th, 28th, and 29th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All right. Today is the 16th of October. So we're talking, 11 days away, essentially, for the thing to start. And it's going to be a meeting of, check this out, post-Vatican II Church. They're saying about that. And they say, join us and let's take our church back. It's what the Bible prophesies, brethren. They're St. Pius X. Indeed, the true friends of the people are neither revolutionaries nor innovators. They are traditionalists. So traditional Catholics are saying, let's have this big conference thing, and see if this is the thing where they say it. 2 bishops and priests from every major traditionalist fraternity. Where have I heard that word before? I don't remember. It'll come back. Colleges and universities. Excuse me. And Freemasonry. Excuse me. I have to get my throat checked out. But another very telling thing here, CatholicHerald.co.uk. Here we have an article from July 2015, the 23rd of July 2015. The Pope's Great Evangelical Gamble. It's talking about a possibility of signing this thing. The Holy Father, look at this here, the Holy Father is thinking of signing the text in 2017, the 500th anniversary of the Reformation, alongside evangelical leaders representing roughly 1 in 4 Christians in the world today. He's thinking about uniting Catholicism and the evangelical church. I find that very interesting, that they're making this thing that we want to bring the church, the Catholic Church, and the evangelicals together. Let me show you something real quick here, and we'll get right back to this article. Look what Andersnake posted just yesterday, October 15th. Like I said, today is the 16th. Our church versus the new evangelical movement. Our church versus the evangelicals. Just a coincidence. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But it goes down through here. It's talking about actually that Tony Palmer, the guy that I made a video exposing his whole thing, and he supposedly died in a motorcycle crash, and there were people that were calling the hospital, and they're like, oh no, he didn't die. He walked out. Crazy. But it goes down through here. It's a very, very interesting article. You can read the thing if you want to. Now let's see where I want to read here. Okay, look at this. Evangelicals could include the most rabid anti-Catholic fire-breathing fundamentalists right through to the prosperity gospel televangelists. Evangelical, Anglo-Catholics, Charismatics, and modern Protestants, he says. So Anderson coming out and saying, oh, well, our churches, we're against the new evangelical movement. Well, guess what? This thing gets signed between the Pope and evangelicals. They're going to include fundamentalists like Anderson, back under the authority of Rome. Yeah. But anyways, you can go down through here and read this. We're not going to go through it all. But just a interesting thing here. Says here, meanwhile, they're saying, there's no evidence that he's going to do this. We're not really sure and everything else. Yeah, sure, right. But it says here, meanwhile, the Pope is encouraging Catholics to be more evangelical with a small e. He seems to want the faithful to become more like born-again Christians, to ditch the funeral faces, radiate joy, and take the gospel out of the church and onto the streets. A lot of these street preachers, I had a brother tell me about this, a lot of these Team Jesus preachers and stuff, they're preaching Catholicism. That's what they're doing. There's a works-based, it's this obedience and all this other very heavy on, you have to do all these things and just constantly crucify your flesh and everything else. Levi Price, I think, is one of them. There's a bunch of these Team Jesus people. They're Catholic. That's all that they are. But it says here, thanks to Francis and the Catholic Charismatic Renewal Movement. Wait a second. What's this guy again here? He's a charismatic. Again, proved it in the study. He's a charismatic Catholic. What do we just read here? Thanks to Francis and the Catholic Charismatic Renewal Movement. Bogart's part of it, and Anderson's yoked up with Bogart. The faithful are likely to look considerably more like evangelicals by the end of the century than they did at the beginning, but whether evangelicals will be more Catholic remains to be seen. Wait a second. Catholics are going to start purposefully making themselves look like Christians? Think, brethren. And how about this? Here you get this event right here, October 27th, 28th, 29th. The possibility of Francis signing this thing on the 31st of October. Less than 2 weeks away. And here you have, right after it, the first 5 days of November, you have the Post-Trib Bible Prophecy Conference, put on by Steven Anderson's professional Hollywood film producer, Paul Wittenberger. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. One of the most key, important things for the Roman Catholic Church to do is to get people away from believing that the rapture is going to take place before the time of Jacob's trouble. Call it the pre-trib rapture. They must get people away from that. I've talked about that in other videos. It's a teaching straight out of the Catechism that the church has to be purified by this final time. It's exactly what the post-tribbers believe. They believe that your salvation is not enough right now. Funny, because it's exactly what Catholics believe. You have to go and you have to endure the end to be saved. You have to go into this time and you can't take the mark and you can't this and you can't that and all this other stuff. And some people aren't going to make it. Die in a state of grace. Keep the sacraments. Faithfully attend your local church. You see it all tying together, brethren? Anderson is a Catholic. He is a covert Catholic. We've been proving it now for a long time, and now the proof is right in front of your face. Universal One Church. Anderson's working with them, and they name themselves Faithful Word Baptist Church. Same exact address between the two. I don't know what else to tell you if you haven't woken up yet. Steven Anderson is a liar. He is a deceiver. And again, I've been exposing this guy for years because I know what happens if I don't. If I don't speak out against Steven Anderson, who else is? Sam Gipp's little thing that he put on was ridiculous. It didn't do anything to hurt Steven Anderson's movement. But you see, if we remain silent about this guy, and if we go, well, I think he might be saved or whatever, which Sam Gipp said, he comes out and exposes Steven Anderson as being a wicked false prophet, but he says, I do believe he's a Christian. It's like, are you kidding me? You know? But you see, if we remain silent about Steven Anderson and his cult, they're going to make Bible-believing Christians look like idiots. We must stand against this system right here. It's just right in front of your face. I mean, it is Roman Catholicism coming in under the veil of independent fundamental Baptist, Christian, evangelical, whatever. You better wake up.